Speedway Model Works, and I'm Joe.
I just wanted to do a quick video. I had a question on how I ran my fiber optic through these engines on this 172 Bandai X-Wing. What we have to do here is completely drill all this out of here for LEDs to go in, where that will sit on top. And you have to clear the surround out. So that's basically what we're going for. So the LED will be sitting in here. I'll probably do a red flickering. And then we'll have to run the wire through here. So let's just show you how you do it real quick. So we have to really remove all this inside here. So the first thing I will do, I'll try to cut most of it out. At least get the bulk of it. The snips. Kind of something like that. Then I will take this. Don't want to go too deep in there, just enough to get rid of all that raised surface. So, something like that. Now this end here's a little different, because we're going to run the wire through here, but it's only a half kind of circle already. So what I want to do is I want to drop this in, just to give it a little bit of a ramp. Something kind of like that. We'll go a little deeper. And I'll ramp it. And we lost a little bit of that. They were supposed to be like this. But that's good, because if that happens, I could show you what to do. On this case, we'll just have to glue this piece directly here without the assist of the little tip. But it is right here. I guess I could glue that on. Maybe. I'll leave it up here. I'll figure that out. Let's do the other side. Same scenario. That's the one thing about plastic, you can always fix it. All right. So here you have your two openings. Everything's been hollowed out. There's your ends. Now what I'll do this off camera. but I'll make sure the surfaces are nice and smooth and made them. And then what you'll end up with is something that looks like this. Now what we'll have to do is we'll wire up our LED, and I can show you that in a later video with the resistor. And I want to drop it down in there. We're going to pull it out of here. And then it needs to go through this piece, which sits in the back of this piece. Let's go ahead and open that up, see how that works. I think the way that is set up, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to notch out the top so the wire can run through, because it will be covered up by the top. So let's see how this works. Looks like that'll do it. Okay, so yeah, this will go through here. Now your wire will still be able to travel through. Let me hold that up again. So you can see, and this little piece goes in here. So basically all we need to do is make sure this wire can go through the engine. And as you can see, I came through here, put a hole, came in here, went off to the side, because as this sits on here, the engine is here with the other piece. This piece will be in there too. So basically it's going to look like something like that. So our wire's going to come through. It'll come through this hole here. And then what I did is I just marked a hole here. Now what we need to do, as I marked that hole, I wanted to try to come in at an angle. You can see the hole here. Because I didn't want to interrupt this corner, because that is seen. So I went in an angle and came out of the bottom here, so that wire will follow in here, and that will enable us to have the wire inside the body. So as you can see, I notched this out, and I'm going to display this with open wings, so I'm not going to have it closed winged, because it'll be displayed like this. And as you can see, with that open, you can't see any hole anywhere. So then the wire will be out here, and then I can do all my wiring in here, and I can drop it down the post into the base. So that's pretty much how you run your wire through these. Like I said, it can be tricky and time-consuming, but it's well worth it, I'm sure. So, oh, let me just do this too. Basically, these are pretty easy to do too. So basically, we need to open it up. And there's a lot of plastic here. So first thing I do is just cut all this off. Watch your eye. And let's start off with, this plastic can get a little brittle if you start cutting too much at one time. So what I'll do is I'll start small. Kind of run it slow. Look at the first hole, and we'll just start working our way up. Yeah, if you try something too big, a lot of times it'll just crunch on you, and then you got a broken part. That one's through. It almost did that. It almost wanted to kind of start shooting off. Let's see, I think that's big enough for that, yeah. So then now what I'll do is I have it where I got most of it out. And this little bit here is great. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's nice. It's nice. So go in here real slowly. Slowly start going around. We can start clearing it out. And once I get the bulk of it out with this, I don't want to do the fine. I have a little round rat tail file. Tamiya. And I get in here and clean it, and it's not really going to be seen, but I want it to be smooth because it will be. I will have it flat black in there, but the glow of the light will be coming through. And I want it to look somewhat smooth. And there you have it. So now we have all these done. Got a couple more of these to do. I'll glue this one. And like I said, since we, well, I shouldn't say we, since I went a little too deep on that, it broke the tip off. But that's not going to be a problem. That'll all be hidden. We'll just have to basically set this in there at the same time as this piece, and that'll just butt up. So it won't be a problem. I also wanted to mention real quick, these engine grates, screens, or whatever they're called, these come from Green Strawberry. Let's see. Yeah, and here's the instructions. So basically, this is what we are doing. And of course, it comes with all the cockpit interior, so we can light that. I don't plan on using all this because I do plan on displaying it in flying mode. But there's a ladder and all kinds of stuff you can use. I usually use Paragraphics, but they didn't have anything for these smaller kits. Here, I guess I'm going to glue this together. So what I do on this, like I said, I want to make sure that both surfaces are going to be nice and clean because we lost our guide pins when I cut everything out. So I can look at that. Of course, and a lot of this we can clean up too after we glue it together. I just want to make sure it has a good mating surface. Okay. So, first things first, a little Tamiya extra thin. I'll set it here. Here I'm just going to get everything kind of lined up. I'm not going to try to do too much glue. I just want to get it lined up and put in the clamp. So the trick is, see, it's going to get squirrely on you. I want to make sure each side Try to look up the front and back. I need to get some smaller clamps. Okay, make sure everything's lined up on both ends, front to back, side to side. I went this way, that's what it was. There we go. There we are. Lined up. Lined up. Now we can go in here and I'll drop all of this down here. Fill in that seam. And once it's primed and painted, you're not even going to see it. Okay, and there it is glued. I'll just let that sit for a minute. And there you have it. All right, well, thanks a lot. Good luck. Now the top engines are different. They have a little different connector. You notice here, these square pieces are here. So on those, you have to do something a little different. What I've done is I went ahead and glued this end piece in, because that can just stick in and it's fine. But you take this drill bit and go all the way through to about here, and then you want to cut the rest of that tab out. You can see it here on this one a little better. Now what we'll do, now obviously we need to run the wire through here. So I'm going to take this, and I can kind of see where this opening is. It's about where this smooth area is. So what I'm going to do is put that on there. I'm going to mark, kind of make a score there so I can see. And we're going to come in here. I'm going to start about right here. I'm going to kind of start to go in, straight in first, just till I get a little grip. Then I will gradually start to angle it, like so. And now I can kind of work my way down, and you can notice here, well, we're going to start to come out of here. There you go. And really the only area we need to protect is that corner, because that's really going to be the only thing visible. So as you can see, we have the hole through here. Clean some of this up. Okay, you can see we have a hole that goes all the way through. So now when this engine's on here, here's the one. And obviously I'm gonna have to paint this separately so I can run my wire through here, come through here, and then push this down and glue it on. So it's gonna be a little different than this side, whereas this side, I can pull these off, run my wire, put these back on. That's why I went and glued those down. This side I'm gonna have to not glue down until we run those wires in. So now what you'll do is on the top part of the body, I can set this up here, just kind of mock it up. And I can see when I lift these wings up, what we need to do is I'm gonna hold that in that position. I'm just gonna do this just to start it, just to put a mark on the body. And there we go. And it looks like the top of that wing is going to go all the way to this line. So I think we're going to be okay, and I'll take the Dremel. I'm just going to round out a little area here. Like so. We have plenty of room to... Not the prettiest, but wire will go through there. So now when that's on there, when we have the wings open, our wire will be able to come now inside here, come down here and mate with our bottom wires. And that's basically how you do the top. So there's your bottom, there's your top. I'll do the other side off camera. And there you go. And that's basically how you get your wire, at least, into the body. And next we'll do the cockpit. And then I will show you how to run it down the tube into the base. So hopefully that helps you. And good luck with your building. Thank you. So that's how you do it. I have to quit. So anyway, you can get all, please. All right, it's early in the morning. Where's my coffee? Anyway.